Yeah, in this video, I wanted to talk about the spending habits and money lending, especially in the Philippines. But that applies more or less exactly the same to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, to the whole Southeast Asia. And I'm pretty sure it also applies nearly exactly to Africa, Middle South America, something like that. I've never been in those countries. If you've been and you have experience, feel free to leave me a comment down below so that I can check it out. If it's the same, it's different. If there's some changes happening compared to that what I'm experiencing here. But yes, I want to speak about Philippines, but keep in mind that it's more or less applied to many other parts of the world as well. When you come here, of course, you will very soon interact with the Filipinos. It's normal. And of course, you're most likely also going to get ripped up very quickly in the taxi airport or something. But when you come in contact with the locals, with the local ladies or something, very quickly you're gonna be asked for money. It can be just to invite them, to buy them some kind of stuff, to help them out. When you travel in the province, most likely you're gonna have the situation when you meet some lady or something, or you visit the family of your partner, that they're gonna ask you for money to buy them some beer, buy them some medicine, pay the electric bill or whatever. That's pretty normal and common and standard here. And it's not necessarily that they want to take your advantage or offend you. They have more or less the mindset, you're a Westerner, you're rich, you have lots of money, you can afford to fly to come here. So you for sure you also have enough money to help them out because they're struggling, they have less money. And also their mindset is very different because most of the Filipinos here don't have even a bank account. So saving is not really a thing here, because as soon as they're saving something, emergency comes up, someone gets sick, motorbike is broken, the house is broken or whatever, and the saving is gone. And it's more the mentality here to live in the day and then just enjoy the day. When today you have money, you spend, you invite someone, and tomorrow maybe someone else has money and gonna spend and invite. And so that's the situation. But very soon, very quickly, you will encounter the situation that you be asked for money, borrow money, to lend money, to help out with financial needs, with some issues, with some problems. And in general, I can say 90% of the time, for sure 9 out of 10 times, I would not lend money, and it very strongly advised against it, because usually they don't have their mindset to pay back. They don't. It's not in their mind. You have enough money, you can spend enough, so it doesn't mind if you give them a few thousand pesos or not. And what happens most of the time is you give them money, you maybe agree to pay back in a week or by the end of the month or something, and nearly guaranteed that they will just not talk about it, they'll mention it. Maybe they keep on texting you, you're drinking together, you hang out together, you talk together, but it's very unlikely that they will come up with the money matter from their own. Maybe they're asking more, maybe they will ask you to give another 1,000, 2,000 or add something, but it's very unlikely that they come to you and say they want to pay back or something, because they don't want anything from you anymore. They already have the money, so they don't need anything. So also most of the time when you text them, when you write them, when you call them, they will not pick the call. They will not message you back, because why should they? They don't need anything from you. And that's very often here that they ignore the calls, they ignore the text, because for what? They don't want anything from you, so they don't need to answer or reply or give any kind of statement. So be prepared. If you give them money, if you pay rent, if you rent something, you will be the one who keep on texting them, keep on reminding them, keep on pushing them. And then maybe you get partial of the money back, or part now, part then, and so on. You're going to be the one who have to spend all that time and effort to remind the people here to be there, to be around and keep on pushing, because it's very, very seldom that they really have the responsibility and the mindset to pay back on their own. I had a few cases, yes, but it's like 1 out of 100 or something. Yes, I had a case where they say that they pay back until end of the month, and then a few days before that time, they text me, message me, and say, sorry, it doesn't work out. I don't have the money right now. It's going to be 2 days late, 3 days late. I said, okay, that's all right. At least I have an update. I would know what's going on. But it's very, very seldom, and I wouldn't count on it. And usually you just keep on spending and have to pay back the. So if you really want to help them out, if you really want to give them money, if you give them a loan, if you help their financial needs because you say, oh, it's a good guy. Drunk with him a few times, I make some bonding and make socializing with him, with her, and then I really like her and it's a good person and I want to help her out or whatever. Here's my advice, advice from my perspective, how you should it do, how to do, to spend, to really lend money if you really want to do. And in my perspective, there's 3 ways to do it. The first way is that you give them the money in exchange for something else so that you don't expect it back. For example, if you have some guy, they want money, then you say, okay, I'll give you that 1,000 pesos, 2,000 pesos, whatever they want. But first, in exchange, I want you to come over to cut my grass, make my lawn, do something in the house, wash my car, or maybe renew the papers of the car. When you do it on your own, it's going to take you half the day to go there and stand in line or whatever. They can do it or do some stuff for you. And it's more or less the same with the girls. So when the girl said, I really need money, I have emergency, whatever, I usually would advise to tell them, okay, you can have the money, but first you come over, you clean the house, you make the dishes, you make the laundry. If it's a nice open-minded lady, or maybe you can also say, you can stay with me tonight, and then you get some exchange. So that kind of things that when you really need money, when they really ask you for something and you want to give, that you create something, that you do something where they say, okay, they can do that in exchange, they can help me out, they can do something in the house, they make some cleaning or whatever, so that you don't have to follow up, because then the transaction is done. They spend their time with you, or they help you out in the house, in the garden. You give them money, and so if you're even, you quits, and you don't have to follow up, you don't have to ask for their payback because it's just done. Secondary option, next option would be, if they're asking for money, that you get some kind of valuable deposit, for example, a passport, a cell phone, ID card, motorbike, whatever, that you say, okay, I give you the money, you can have it, but in exchange, I will keep the cell phone or keep the passport, and you'll only get it back when you really paid back. That's for sure a good option. Of course, you can also add some kind of contract, that you write the contract and make a sign and notarizing and leasing, especially when it's a higher amount. It's for sure put a bit on it. It put a bit security, but I wouldn't really say that's the really secure option, because if there's a few thousand pesos, 5,000 pesos, you borrow them or something, you will not go to court for it. You will not find a lawyer about it. It's too much hassle, too much time, too much effort. Yeah, sure, you can go to the barangay and kind of spread the word and have the proof that they borrowed money, they don't pay back, they're not good. Yeah, but I don't think really you're gonna do that. So it's for sure a way to do it, that you say, okay, I give you the money, in exchange you give me some deposit, some, like I say, some motorbike, passport, whatever. Of course, they can also fool you with it. Maybe they don't want to go abroad anymore. They don't need the passport anymore. They just give it, run off, or it's maybe an old tablet that's broken, that's not usable anymore, or something like that. Can fool you with it, but it's for sure a way to keep it a bit more secure. And the third way, in my opinion, to give money or to help out the people here is if you just give it and don't expect it back. So if you say that's a good person, I know him, and that's a nice relative or whatever, I'm just out of my heart, I'm a good person, I want to help out, I want to be the good Samaritan, or what, I want to give the 5,000 for the medicine or for the hospital or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure you can do it also, but then you don't expect it back, so you don't have to ask for it, you don't have to follow up or something, because you don't expect it back. The deal is done and everything is good. But in that regard, what you have to expect also, what you have to be prepared for, is for sure Filipinos is very talkative, and they spread the word, and they're not very good in keeping secrets and so on. So you can be pretty sure, if you give 5,000, 10,000, whatever, for the one person, because you said, I really want to help out, I really want to do something, be prepared that very soon there are going to be other relatives, they're knocking at the door, they're going to be there, they say, I also need help. I also need support. And when you turn them down, then you have some kind of bad mouthing around or some bad talk, like why did you help the other person? Why didn't you help me? Why this happening and so? And yeah, it can go down also when you just say I'm a good person and doing out of my heart. I'm really kind. I like to help. I like to support. And in the end, you have lots and lots of people knocking on your door and want more money, and everyone wants it for free. So it's kind of dangerous. What you also have to be aware of, for sure, is how your partner treats it. When you have a Filipino partner, especially when you live in a Filipino community in the family area and the compound in the barangay where she has many relatives and cousins and everything, you can be sure that there will be plenty of relatives who have emergencies, who need money, who is hospital bills, or dog is sick, motorbike is broken, whatever. And they will ask foremost your wife, as your partner. They seldom will really come directly to you. For sure, on the one hand, they shy to talk English, they don't want to talk English, and don't want to have broken grammar or something. But of course, they're also more familiar with your partner. It's because it's their relative, it's their kind of same culture, same person, same language, and so on. And then it's on your partner how she handled it. I would say a good partner will block most or all of these requests and say, no, we don't have money, we don't borrow, we don't give something, we don't have any to spare, we have our own expenses, we have enough to do, we cannot help out, it's not possible right now, something like that. I will block up most of it. Maybe she has a few really trusted relatives, sister, whatever, where she say, okay, you can really trust that one, you can really help out. That's really an emergency, that's really serious. And that one she forward to you and then you help out or you decide on your own what you will do. That's all right. But it can also happen that you have a partner who just forwards everything or is easy to convince that everything is an emergency, everything is needed your help, and you the one have to save everyone, you the one have to step in everywhere and then put all your requests there, and then you're going to be overwhelmed very quickly because then you have tons and tons of requests for help, for aid, for money, for support. If she doesn't filter it through, if she just forward it or maybe even pushes it, you can also have a partner who encourage you to give money, encourage you to help out the relatives, easy to manipulate or something like that. So that's kind of dangerous as well. So it's very important that you have a partner who helps you out in that regard, or who is there for you, is on your side and helps you protect your money and doesn't spread it out through all your relatives, all your other cousins or whatever. And for sure, you have to set very quickly boundaries, especially when you relocate to the province, to the area, to your family, because then you really need to set boundaries and say, I don't give something. And because when you start to invite everyone and when you start to spend and to give out, then because there's going to be more and more coming and more requesting, and then you have to deal with it. And it's not nice because even you help out a few times, in the end, you're going to be the bad person. You're going to be the stingy guy, the grumpy guy, because you don't help everyone. And then the persons you don't help, they're going to be angry, they're going to be mad. So in my honest opinion is don't borrow any money, don't give any money at all. And if you give money, maybe you do something that you say you don't expect it back, like that they help you out, or at least take some kind of deposit or kind of assurance that they're gonna pay back. That's my clear advice in this regard.